What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video where today we are going to be doing a commentary of a 2v2 siege battle that we did online. It's between me and my buddy, and we are basically just sort of defending this settlement. I think it's Arminium, this map. We're playing as Lusitania and Armenia against Egypt and Rome. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pause the game because we are sallying out here, and I kind of want to just give like a little lowdown of who's who and what's what. So inside the settlement, obviously we got our Lusitani soldiers. I've set up my guerrilla soldiers just here to ambush his carrion axemen. There's just 2 units of guerrillas and then 2 more units of Scutari cavalry, and then my ally Tristan, actually, who features in my campaign, he's brought some horse archers and some cataphracts as well, and then his infantry mainly consists of Kartli axemen, some ranged units here, some Persian archers, and then we've also got, oh wow, I didn't actually see this, but we got our noble spearmen set up in the noobiest way possible, going along these walls, but good on him. He's bought these guys, and he's sort of, I think his main focus is on his cavalry to harass the Egyptians. And then my army over here, I'm squared off against Rome, so a bit of a tough fight I got sort of ahead of me. We've got veteran shield warriors, I believe. I think I've spammed them. I've got about 10 units. 4 units of the Balearic slingers, and these guys are going to be crucial in my game plan. And I think my general is a Lusitani noble. But I think I've also got a couple of units of spearmen, Scutari spearmen. Oh no, just Lusitani spearmen, sorry. And basically I'm just holding this front line whilst Rome are pushing up, and sort of like I say, we're doing our sally out against Egypt just to try and get as much sort of damage on him as possible and try and delay his advance. Now, I'll tell you what, the first things first, obviously engaging these guerrilla warriors on their own, they're not going to win at all. Like, with obviously they're so outnumbered, but they absolutely carve through these carrion axemen. Honestly, I've never seen carrion axemen get destroyed so quickly. But honestly, they get absolutely destroyed there, and we just sort of push through and then move on to his Galatian Royal Guard. Now, I saw my guys were struggling a little bit, so I brought my men in for a rear charge. And as you can see, it's a decent charge. I get a fair amount of his units, but his Galatian Royal Guard are so strong. I haven't known too much about this unit, but they are outrageously strong. But I think I kind of realised that, pulled this unit away, and just realised that I need to kind of defocus against the Galatian Royal Guard. Try and focus on other people if I can. But I tell you what, it was a poor use of my cav here. But luckily Armenia are absolutely sort of harassing his units. We've sorted him out into this little cluster here, grouped him all together, and he's just getting shot up now. Meanwhile, like, the rest of his army is just getting pushed up as well. But I think it's not much for his army. He's got what, 1, 2, 3, 4 guard towers, siege towers getting pushed up. So I think Armenia can handle that quite well. Meanwhile, over here, Rome's taking it slow. They formed up a little box, realising that we've got a sally out, and they've just formed up a little box here that, to be honest, I don't blame them, but they're pushing up quite slowly against my walls. Obviously got the old ram head pyramid type things here. I can't remember what they're called now. Tortoise, that's it. They're going to break through, and they're also going to be mounting the walls, but as you'll see, my Balearic slingers just come into a world of their own. But this game does come down to the last man near enough. Like, it's a very, very tight battle. At least I'm left with not many soldiers. My allies have pretty much left with not many. And like I say, like you'll see, it's a tough battle. Very, very tough battle. Oh wow, get some lovely shots against his Galatian Royal Guard here. Just waiting for the other volley. Oh wow. See, I didn't get a chance to see this in the game. Obviously during the game you're so focused on trying to kill as many of their units, and you've got so much to manage that you just don't really know what's going on. But you know, this gives us a good opportunity to kind of review how I was doing as a player. Also, this was a good charge by me. I didn't kill really any of their units, but I held them up big time. So obviously they would have mounted and then pushed against the Armenians' infantry here. But with my guys pushing against the Royal Guard, I could just sort of harass them, slow down their advance, and let Armenia come past and shoot them up a bit. So the main aim with our cavalry sally out was just to literally cause some havoc. But as you can see, Rome have mounted their walls. They've got a lot of guard towers. They've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units getting placed up on the top. But here, literally, I've got my Bleriot slingers focusing on his Royal Guard. And he's not actually advancing with them, which I found really strange. You know, he's got the advantage infantry-wise. Like, his Praetorian Guard will carve up my my spearmen and my soldiers. But he seems to sort of wait till they're all off the guard tower once and then charge them in. But by that point, it's a little bit too late, and I'm just absolutely pummeling him with my slingers. I think I've got the same situation going on over here. I can't remember entirely. Yeah, we're just firing up onto these walls, just like that. The thing is, as soon as these guys come off this siege tower, they're just getting shot up. So they don't really stand a chance. The more time that they just stay there, it's just not going to go well for them. By this point, our cavalry had pretty much come round. I think we sort of we line up in this forest line here, and then we charge in. But by this point, my cavalry was pretty hurt, and they hadn't got much kills. Honestly, they had 7 or 8 kills amongst themselves, so nothing sort of too impressive there. Like, I must admit, I wasn't too confident with my cav. I don't think the Lusitani are known for their cavalry, but that doesn't give me an excuse as to why I didn't do very well with it. But over here, Rome's pushing up his infantry. Started to engage with my veteran shield warriors. We've got a full frontal attack here. Again, like, my men aren't going to do very well, but I just kind of want to delay him, hold him in place, and let my slingers go to town, really. So we're just letting that happen. But as you can see, he's dominating my flank there. The central side, I've got more units, and he's already routing. He's already routed, rather, with 1 unit. So not too sort of worried about my central area, but it's the left flank the left flank and the central flank, which I'm fairly confident about. Meanwhile, on the right flank, you know, we're getting our ass handed to us. Already 88 units in this one, and he's still got pretty much 2 fresh units. So I'm just taking the opportunity to shoot as many of his guys whilst he's blobbed up. You know, in hindsight, maybe I should have carried on focusing on the Praetorian Guard up here. But you know, also, if I was Rome, I'd be pushing these units up. I'll be swinging 1 unit out of this little attack and bringing my 2 units up here. If he can engage me in all flanks, I don't have enough soldiers to defend against everyone. So if I were him, I'd be pushing up as wherever I can. Oh yes, straight into those Praetorians. Beautiful stuff. And over here, it's a bit of carnage, to be honest. Like, again, the Royal Guards, they're kind of, I don't want to say getting their ass handed to them, because they're doing good. Like, they're holding, but Armenia are just completely dominating this defense at the moment. At the moment, I would say that we're feeling very confident, very fresh as well. You know, we've got loads of units left, tons of ammo left as well, and just generally feeling quite strong. But yeah, I think at this point we're fairly confident, but you know, things do change and things can change. So yeah, this is one maybe full oversight of mine. I left my cavalry fighting. I didn't pull them in and do the old hammer and anvil, and ultimately I lose both of my cavalry units. So that was a pretty poor choice by me. Bit of a shame, really, because obviously it's a wasted amount of money. But these Veteran Shield Warriors are going to be a key to the game as well, as you'll see whilst it goes on. Oh, he's doing some damage there with his auxiliary Syrian archers. But yeah, he's completely won in this middle section. It's at this point where I'm starting to think about pulling my men back and regrouping. As you can see, I've got my units coming back. Maybe I'm retreating a bit prematurely from my right flank here, but at the end of the day, I just felt like he was going to overwhelm this side, and it would have just been suicide keeping all my men in. So I left these guys behind to sort of kill whoever they can, whilst the rest of my army made a hasty retreat. But as you can see as well, we've got some beautiful flanking shots going on these Praetorians. Pretty much surrounded them as well. Just looking very, very good. Looking very good. Yeah, he's doing well actually. Like, in as much as he's got his infantry lines pushed up and he's got his archers behind, but I think the Romans were just a little bit too slow on the moving units around. Need to react it a little bit quicker. I know I'm not the best player, but he was allowing me to take his units one by one, and again, as the game matures a little bit, you'll start to see that more often. Completely quiet this side of the battlefield, but this side again, Armenia doing well. Has got a few units getting routed now, but he's holding quite strongly. Like I say, the main focus of his army was on his cavalry out here, which are getting some damage. If we get the kill counter up, he's got 102, 71, 48 and 15. He hasn't properly engaged his raw cataphracts just yet, but he's still doing well. I remain hopeful for him. We're going to pull my camera up here, just have a little look. I've got the one unit of Veteran Shield Warriors here holding against 3 units of Cav and a Praetorian Guard. Now, I must admit, I thought that they were going to break a lot sooner, but they hold for a good amount of time, and honestly I think this is one of the reasons why I might have won the battlefield. Or did I? Who knows? Yeah, I've got my Balearic Slingers as well, shooting his guys up. So again, he's only sent up a few units. He's not pushing this flank either. So I'm going to take advantage of that. Take back the gate that he's pulled away from. Have my Slingers pummel the sides of his men. And just try and surround each unit as he sends it in one by one. Because I think I'm taking advantage of the fact that I've got the better numbers. Seems though he's attacking in sort of waves almost. But they're going to rout soon. Not too long now. There we go. And then I'm going to bring my men up and engage him head on. And I think that does give me the opportunity to get some good shots off on this flank here. But we'll see. We'll see. Over here though, what I've done, okay, this does seem quite newbie, but at the end of the day, I thought it was falling apart. I was pretty sure Rome was just going to send everything in. And if I just held the line on each one of these points, I would have been screwed. So what I did, I pulled my infantry up onto my stairs here, held my slingers up on the front, and just kind of sat it out. So I was going to wait for him to send more men in, but at this point I'm thinking, you know, what do? I'm managing to hold over this side. I'm managing to, for some reason, hold him off on this side as well. So I was just kind of thinking, right, sod it. So I pulled my men down and formed up a line just to sort of re-establish myself in the battlefield, because I didn't want to completely lose this, because obviously his men are... Oh wow, we're getting some great shots off on these guys. Obviously his men are doing quite well against mine, so I wanted to basically re-establish that foothold and try and push back a bit, maybe counter. Absolutely smashing him. So over here, the raw cataphracts, which my ally brought, was coming to help off my Lusitani nobles, or Veteran Shield Warriors, sorry. Obviously he's got all of his units blobbed up, so just going to take advantage of that mess really. I think I was expecting him to just be able to push straight through, but obviously he hasn't been able to, and we're just going to completely hammer an anvil into those and just free up my Veteran Shield Warriors. Right, now looking over here, as you can see, we've got a ton of reinforcements. So my ally was thinking, you know, I've got this. He's got one, two, 3 units of raw peltists. Raw peltists and then a couple of Galatian Raw Guard. Be absolutely fine. But then his ally has done really well, actually. I really respect this tactic. He held them back. His patience was incredible. And then in the meantime, he's pulled all of his units that he had in I can't get my words out. All his units that he had in reserve, there we go, and he just pulled them all in, and then just started unleashing havoc. And I think it's at this point when my ally might start to panic a little bit, but obviously he's dominating this flank here. My ally's dominating this flank, so they're just going to bring all their men and clash in the centre. But yeah, that's an interesting battle that happens over there. I kind of wish I had 2 cameras to show you each point that went on, because there were some really, really crucial elements in this battle which I'd love to capture, to be fair. Anyway, so at this point where I bring my Balearic Slingers back, I want to start luring the Romans in. So basically I'm going to take advantage of the fact that he's sending his units in one by one. If he's going to send them in one by one, I'm just going to let him do that. So what I've done is I've brought my Balearic Slingers on each flank here, and I'm going to use this column for him to send them in. So there we go. As you can see, his men are kind of split up. So I sent my general and another unit in here, and I've got the slingers just pummeling away at his single file units here. So yeah, like I say, taking big advantage of that. And then going over to the battle here, my ally's got his Persian archers, I believe these are, on the mercenary Cretan archers. Now, I think he had already used up a lot of ammo, and his men were quite low health as well, and he was taking on 3 fresh units of Cretan archers. So, you know, this is not an easy fight for. I think even if his units were completely fresh, they'd still struggle. So all of these reinforcements that are coming in here, I think it just sort of was a tough one to take on. But he's bringing in all of his reinforcements now, and like I say, they're just going to clash right in the centre. That's going to be pretty sick. As you can see, what are these raw thorax swordsmen? They are winded though, because they've come all the way from the forest. Oh no, and their charge got broken. Ah, he put his men on shield wall as they were charging. That is a rookie error, I'll be honest with you. So I don't know what's going on here. His men seem to be going for the archers. My ally seems to be just taking advantage of that poor advancement. And my ally's just establishing a line. I think he's going to try and rout those raw peltists and set up a defensive line and let him come to engage him. Right, now looking over here, just in time. Look at that. Got my Lusitani elite warriors crashing against his Praetorians. Again, they're far more heavily armoured, but I feel like my men are pretty well skilled, so they are a good fight. But I'm just going to use my superior numbers here to dominate this battle. So I've still got 1 unit that I had up on the stairs there. I was thinking, right, what am I going to do with this unit here? So I made advantage of the fact that they had the ability to charge down here and just completely swamped his Praetorians. As soon as they get surrounded, they just start panicking. And that still leaves me units to square off against his Praetorians here. So I've got 1 unit of Veteran Shield Warriors. I think I'm going to counter that attack, maybe. Nope, just going to brace against it. But then I've still got my nobles. My Balearic Slingers here. They're pretty much going to wreak havoc on this guy's flank. We're going to get a nice shot of that. There we go. Oh wow. Oh wow, that is doing damage. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Like I say, world tactics or sort of tactical battle luring him in, taking him on one by one. But I just feel like I got really lucky, because if he did send all of his soldiers in, I definitely would have been overwhelmed. And surprisingly, this unit here are doing well. They're beginning to rout a Praetorian cav unit. Granted, we do have the help from the raw cataphracts, but we're doing so well in just defending against this blob of Romans. Alright, and going back over to the Armenia/Egypt battle. So maybe an oversight from my ally here, but what they did, they obviously established all of their troops in to a front line here against Egypt, and he's just sort of holding them in place. Meanwhile, the rest of Egypt's troops have flanked around behind, and I think they're gonna pour through these streets. You know, they're going for the Kartli axemen and the archers, which is a good choice. Meanwhile, he's slipping this unit of Theros spears into the back of the Armenians, and just they've got that sort of like column formation, and then they spread out their units and then just go for the rear charge against Armenia. But no, but they hold out. Again, that's twice that Egypt have fluffed up the charges. See, maybe they're just unloading. No, see, that was a poor choice by Egypt. They could have gotten a great charge against Armenia. His backs were exposed, but instead they just sort of stood back and went into defensive when they should have been offensive, really. Meanwhile, Rome have pretty much committed everything. Now they've got their unit of archers here, which my buddy's gonna go ahead and sort out for me. Meanwhile, my Lusitani veteran shield warriors are literally just carving through his units. I think he's got like a unit of auxiliary Syrian archers here that are routing. I pull my men away from chasing them, but they do come back, but I don't think that 30 men are going to do too much damage, and just bring my men straight into his general and his Praetorian that he's got left. And then that is it for Rome. We have defeated Rome. Doing well. Doing very well. I think we started to get a little bit confident again now. So obviously things have looked a little bit touch and go, especially with all the Egyptian units over here really doing damage against my ally. I think it's just a case of seeing how quickly I can get my reinforcements over. Yeah, so he's got, what is it, 56 men here, so they're already quite damaged, but they are attacking into the back of these pikes. But you know, it is only an archer unit attacking the pikes, so yeah, some strange unit placement with his men. Honestly, I've never really seen unit placement like this. Like he's got his Theros spears in a square formation when he could have pincered them. He's got his pikemen also facing the wrong frickin' way. I think he's only just realised that. Is he going to turn them round? Yeah, he's turned them round. No, he's walking away. That is strange. Maybe he's trying to bring him into the... I don't know what he's doing, honestly. Let's say pretty poor placement, but he was still a good sport. Like both, that's one of the things I loved about this game, was I never normally host battles, but they were extremely nice. They seemed like good guys, so I definitely would play with these two players again. Like I said, I'd never normally host, just it always seems like a load of faff. But I was quite surprised. They were asking for rules, and we explained the rules, no artillery, and that's about it really. Just like I say, seemed like a good sported, nice sort of intention game. I really like that. Anyway, it's at this point I think Egypt were thinking, Christ, what are we gonna do? But luckily, my general was here. I start offloading all my spears into his Hellenic Royal Guard. Can we get another volley? I'll tell you what, I don't know why I didn't charge there. Oh, there we go. I think I realised that his pikes were down, or were up rather. So I was thinking, why not just charge in? But by the time each soldier brought their pike down, we just, completely slaughtered them. And it's also at this point that my Balearic Slingers arrive, and I've started to bring my 3 units of Veteran Shield Warriors back. But, maybe it's a little bit too late for Egypt, but he's still fighting through, he's still giving it a go. There we go. As you can see, it's a good slaughter of these men here. He's just getting ganged up on, 3 or 4 men. Just absolutely hammering their way through. Jesus, that guy there. He's going crazy. Nice, he got him in the air and splayed his blood all over the place. Oh, wow. And he's turning into a ghost as well. Poor guy. Fought well. There we go. Allies cataphracts are here. Straight into the back of the Hellenic Royal Guard. Boom. Just completely surrounded him now. And I think this is where his Thuros spears come over. So he did have another unit which was sort of fending off Cav, but he brought them through, allowed the cataphracts to come through here, and then straight into the side of his men. Oh wow. Tell you what, I've never done a replay before on this channel, and it is quite fun to play through these. They're very good fun. Oh no, Armenia facing his pikes head on, getting destroyed. But I think at this point it's looking fairly fatal for Egypt. We kind of just wanted him to give up, but I think he wants to fight through to the bitter end. But good on him, really. Good on him. Let's see, this unit here of Veteran Shield Warriors was the unit that we had over by the little hole there, and they got 205 kills. Maybe a few of them are going to be from these Hellenic Royal Guards, but the majority of those kills are going to be on the Praetorian Cav and the Praetorian Guard, and we absolutely dominated this area. That was a heroic stand by them, especially since that I didn't do any reinforcements. That was all from my ally. So yeah. And now we got depleted unit of Thuros spears and Hellenic Royal Guard again coming in. But I think at this point they're way too hurt. They're getting ripped apart, and also these Royal Cataphracts are just doing some serious damage. Let's turn the HUD off there. Oh wow. Let's have a little look over at this fight. Yeah, so we got his general and another Galatian Royal Guard unit taking on a couple units of noble infantry and Kartli Axemen. Oh no, just Kartli Axemen. Never mind, not noble infantry. I do like the Kartli Axemen unit. They look pretty awesome, to be fair. Oh no, are they pushing through? Ah, they tried to push through, but getting snagged on these guys. Oh, we're going for another rear charge here. Let's try and get this. Oh wow. You can just imagine what it'd be like being in the centre there, with just arrows or slingshots going over the top of you. You got Hellenic Royal Guard. No, you don't. You've got them running away. You got your bloody Lusitanis and your heavy cav just absolutely crushing you in the centre here. That would be pretty intimidating. I definitely would have run away at that point. Oh, now they've run away. Okay, bringing our men through now. It's literally just a case of systematically going through. So I think at this point we definitely realise, right, we've won this now. He's got his Cretan archers, but they're not going to do anything. General's getting slaughtered as well. Yeah, numbers are dwindling and he's gone. He's gone. Oh wow. And now it's time for my men just to bring their exhausted asses. Oh, they're fairly fresh actually. Wow. I'm impressed with the duration of those. And it was a costly victory. Now, we'll end the replay here. I don't think it'll go to a stats battle. Or stats, will it go to a stats? Might do. Oh, it did. It did. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this battle, guys. As you can see, those are the stats. They deployed probably a few more soldiers than us. But we did really, really well. Like my slingers as well. They got tons of kills between them. Probably, 5, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 700 kills roughly, just amongst my slingers. But yeah, really, really impressed. Armenia again, their archers and infantry did really, really well. Cavalry maybe not as good as they could have been, but they're still like, look at those kills, man. 102, 124, and they still had a lot of cav left. And then looking at the enemy, like I said, they did well, but I think maybe a poor choice of units, or just a bit unlucky. I'm not entirely sure, but hopefully we'll be back with another video for you guys soon. I'll definitely try and get another one recorded and uploaded soon. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching YouTube.
I'm thinking out loud. All that negativity is bringing me down. You're so toxic, how you live.